So we just finished reading The Curious Savage by John Patrick.
The wrong interpretation of a play distorts its meaning.
There isn't anything that is like how he worded it, nothing insane about
the people being as honest and in their truth as possible.
Their ability to accept their like reality, for better for worse. I say for better, and like just I like hate Lily Bell, but part of me wants Lily Bell. I don't know.
I talk to myself sometimes. Like I just saw vulnerability.
We take care of each other as friends, as like close people in a close society.
You may fuck with them hard. Like I don't know if I can curse. Can I curse? Nah, whatever I do.
Allowing somebody to be themselves fully.
Like just be weird, and like everybody's gonna be weird, and we're gonna be better.
You guys can edit this part out, please.
It's gonna be the promo.
Dear God, no.
So the next question I have for you guys, I'm curious about is, what other shows do y'all think of that? What other shows do y'all think of where the crazy people are like the most sane ones?
The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
And how the main character, he was like clearly on the spectrum, but he was like the kindest person, and like clearly he could see everything that was happening and could give a better opinion about everything. But he was misjudged by society.
Definitely. One that we've kind of covered in these talks before is something like Harvey too, where it's like everything Elwood was doing, everybody thought was a little odd, but obviously he was the kindest person out of the group, and he was the one who wasn't worried about his place in society. Mariam, yes.
Wait, I have an example. It's not a show or anything, but check it out. This guy right here, like Dennis Rodman, or all the people like in the media who get like represented as like these really weird, like I don't know, just like put it into like a bad light. But I was gonna say, like throughout talking about this, it reminds me of like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Casey, but sort of like in the reverse sense, where like all those patients felt like, I don't know, they had to hide themselves. Then when like McMurphy came, he like, was a leader and helped them find their voice. But that's the reverse. So.
Well, I mean, even in that one too, like you have someone like Nurse Ratched who is a little bit more on the sadistic side as a nurse, whereas if you contrast her to Miss Willie, who's in this play, like obviously there's just a level of compassion, not only for Jeff, but for the other patients that are a part of this. And I think you're kind of right with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Like, yes, obviously they're a little bit more, that one is much more set into like an insane asylum, but even then the protagonists, the heroes are the patients.
Well, and in that too, and in this, you understand where the characters and the patients are coming from to make them human, and you're not just like, oh, they're all nuts. You're like, yeah, no, I get it. I'd be their friend. I'd help them if I were there, somehow.
It kind of reminded me of Orange is the New Black in a lot of ways, where it really humanizes people, and it's easy to like not. It's easy to look at a prison or a jail at the building and be like, that's full of bad people. Like those are just terrible people. But like when you really understand circumstances, whether the result of mental issues or economic issues or other societal issues, then you don't necessarily label those people as bad. You understand where they come from, kind of thing.
Cool. So I have to ask you guys, what are some of your favorite plays that you may have performed in when you were younger?
I don't have plays, I have musicals.
Oh.
That's okay, musicals.
Anything that you did, TV show, play, musical, plays you made up for yourself.
Shia.
So I was laughing because I feel like I brought it up, but I do have two. So I'll just, because I've done Harvey, like I told you guys, I've done Harvey, and I really enjoyed Harvey. I thought it was a very beautiful play. But my most favorite one, and I think it's kind of similar to like the experience that Amanda had with this play, is I did Lysistrata, and my last.
I was like, we were both. That too.
were both in the same play. It was my last. It was a show in college, and I really connected. I mean, it's so special when it's your last play, you know. And it was my last show, and I think it was the first time that I played a lead in a show. I played Lysistrata, so it was really exciting for me on that aspect. And it's an amazing play about like women just kind of taking charge and just being like, we're going to use our feminine wiles to like tell these men what to do and stop war. I thought it was a very feminist play. I really loved that about it. So it kind of in the same retrospective, like, Amanda, this was your last play, I think you said, in high school. So it was like kind of the same thing. Like I had that same connection with this play too. Yeah, it's just like, we're like, oh, it's over.
You're gonna feel it's raining. Oh.
But yeah, so Lysistrata, that's one for me.
I have a fondness for a play I did years back, Hay Fever by Noel Coward. And it might be a good play to do because it's a big cast, but it is about a family and they're like having a dinner party and they all just treat each other horribly because they all have their own kind of agendas for the party. And, you know, the mother is like this wonderful, like Norma Desmond type character. And it's just a really fun play. But the family members are like very much nuts. So I feel like that would be a good maybe companion piece to this or something.
I made a note of it. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for your play suggestion.
I played a cat once who saved everybody in the village from turning to stone. So that was a high point.
What was the name of it?
I don't know.
Josue?
Oh, and I was just saying Andre had his hand up, so I don't.
And Manny and Karrisa.
Sorry, Andre.
I ignore the rules.
No, I was gonna say Mariam had her hand up actually. She had it.
And Mariam, Manny had his hand up.
I think the one I think the play I enjoyed doing, and I really thought I wouldn't was Universal Language, from All in a Timing. I remember when Ethan, who directed it, said, "Hey, I got a play for you to do. I really want you to do this play." And I remember when I got the script, I can't really remember if I called them back and cursed them out. But I really was like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I'm not gonna understand this. I can barely remember lines that are in English. Like, why would you have me do this? And then when we actually got on the stage, up until we got on the stage, it was horrible. I was a horrible person. I did not want to do this. And when we got on the stage, it all just came out. And then it was all so cool and was funny. And it was really weird. And it was probably the play that actually got me out of a comfort zone. I wasn't used to, I guess, to bring it back to this play, putting on this side of silliness for myself. Like, I really thought I was going to be horrible and bomb at this, or couldn't remember the lines because it wasn't English or I sounded stupid. I had so many things going on in my head until they said, you know, you're up, and I was pushed out into the stage. Then it just came, and it was probably the best time I had. That's the only time you'll get this story, Ethan. So I'll tell everyone else I hated it. No, it was good.
It was so good.
Karrisa, I saw your hand doing the single ladies moment.
No, I was gonna piggyback off of Shio. That play was literally one of the most like emotional times, and where I experienced the most growth, because I was so comfortable, because I was with people that I cared about so much. And and we were all going towards the same goal. It was the Lestrada play, and I played her her supporter, like her best friend, which is because I thought we're best friends. You ain't getting away from me, girl. But it was just such an awakening because I was able to look at all the talent around me, and then I could like learn and pick up from that, and then like adjust and like adapt, and like it was such a learning experience. And for me, that particular play will forever be something that's like I will cherish in my heart, because I was around like people who were so talented in what they did, even if they didn't know what they were doing was what they were doing. It was like it was an all around teachable moment for me.
That's right.
Nanny?
Oh, I thought of one. So I would say the first play I did in New York, it was an original play called Love Like a Hun. I still think about that play really often because it talked about immigration and like the abuse of power between the two groups of people. And like I feel like I did that in 2012, and every single year I keep thinking, why is this still so relevant? Yeah, it was really interesting, and I remember I fell in love with the play, and I was the youngest person in that cast. I would love to do that play someday again, but it was an original play.
You guys for sharing. I really appreciate it. Mariam, do you have one?
No. I don't.
Okay.
I've only done like a bunch of like classes and stuff growing up and stuff like that, but I never really auditioned like even in college for the plays or the actual productions that my school put on, because for whatever reason I was too busy wallowing in self-pity and doubt. So I don't think I have like I don't have any to go off of.
That show.
All right. Yes, Amanda.
Can I just say, in addition to this play, one of my favorite roles ever, I got to be Olive in Spelling Bee. It was my first role out of college at a local theater. I didn't know anybody. It was a very small theater, and I thought for sure I wouldn't get it because it can be so cliquey. And then I got the lead, and I felt super accomplished. But I think, like this show, it was one of the first shows where I really felt like myself as the character. Like I was allowed to really bring myself and the quirkiness that I now into the role. And I just love both of these parts so much, because you get to be the weirdest, but so sincere and like, I don't know, pulls my heartstrings.
Yeah, I love those kind of roles.
Well, awesome, guys. Thank you all so much. Before we wrap up, are there any final thoughts?
I just gonna say, throughout this play, there were some really good gems that were just dropped throughout the play. Like some lines I was writing down because I was just like, wow, like it had me thinking, like when they were talking about not sleeping, and they were saying today we're safe, tomorrow may be filled with disaster. And that hit me because I've been there. Like, I don't want to go to sleep. I don't want to think about tomorrow, especially like if, I don't know, I have a horrible time at work the day before and you don't want to go back to work. And you're like, I just want to live out this. So, how we think of Monday, like you want to keep Sunday as long as you can, just so you don't have to go to work or deal with life again in that way. Or I love the love without saying it kind of thing, like take an umbrella. That made me think of all the times like my grandmother may have said things or my mom may have said things. And I'm like, yeah, that's out of love, or anytime my mom was real strict with me, and she's like, no, I do it out of love. And for some reason now I feel like going back to call her and being like, I got it. It took a play, it took years, but I get it now.
Better late than never.
Yeah. And then on the end, where Mrs. Savage says about the changes that we accept, or the she was talking about people, but she said those who gamble on people and who invest in kindness, those who doubt that position means privilege or manners. I might be getting this wrong, manners and something about morals. I just thought those were kind of like gems to think about and almost kind of live by. And that kind of hit me with the play. And it made me think, like, if you're an actor and you really just played this for laughs, you didn't read the whole play. Like, there's no way you could have, you just got the script and was like, let's go and let's do this. And one of the things I got to really say, and us talking about it and us just reading it together, it was just pretty cool how everybody took it really seriously, and we didn't go for cheap laughs or anything like that. But I just want to say he dropped some major gems for me, and it feels good when a play does that, or a piece of art does that.
Definitely. Anybody else?
That's the end, everybody. Goodbye. I'll get the last word this time.
Never.
Well, thank you guys so much for being a part of this. We really appreciate it.
I didn't talk about my favorite thing.
What is it, Josue?
No, it's okay. We don't.
Call on Josue. He hasn't said the thing he wanted to say yet. Wait,
No,
Ethan, call on
you want to
Josue.
end it? Do you want to just end it?
We want to
Just
He
say it.
wants to hear it.
Say it.
Yeah, say it.
Yeah, we
Yes,
want to
we
hear
love
it.
it.
We want to know.
None of us are signing off until you say it. So
Well, I don't know about that. Good night, everybody.
Okay, so I only want to say, because I think it was really important for me and taught me a lot. That I don't want to be so self-indulgent, but it was this show called Big Love. I think Andre and Ethan saw it, and I don't remember if you saw it. But I don't think I had been so physical before, and I don't know if I've been so physical since that play. Just there was a lot of physicality there, and it was completely new to me. You know, I don't have any, or not any, but I didn't go to school for acting. I had like very little theater experience, so this was all like, what am I doing kind of thing. And it was such a great discovery, and how I got to that, or how I arrived to that role, and those movements and those lines were like really eye-opening. And I still think about the preparation a lot and try to bring that with almost any live role that or any role that comes to me. So yeah, thank you.
well, thank you for sharing. We appreciate it.
Last thing, I just want to say, I think Manny brought it up. The first time just stepping on like a New York stage, like just performing in New York, like that moment stepping on a New York stage. I think I did improv. Actually, it was a class. It was a class, and I was on a stage, and I was like, oh, I made it. Like, Broadway's right down the street. This is what it feels like. I'm gonna be doing this every night. So I had to bring that up. Okay, well, got last word. I'll see you all next time. The meeting is over.